Hello, it's time to learn how to make a box plot, otherwise known as a box and whisker plot. And so I'll take you through a few examples here to show you how to do that. So that you follow these 7 steps, you should be in good shape. The first thing is to put the numbers in order from smallest to greatest. So, and I have this printout for you, and I'll give it to you. So, like in this example, all the numbers have been put in order. So we're ready to go there. We've completed step 1. Next is to find what is known as the 5-number summary. Okay, so the 5-number summary are these 5 numbers. All right, so it is the minimum value, the smallest value, what is known as the lower quartile, the median, the upper quartile, and the maximum value. Okay, so, well, the minimum and the maximum value is sort of obvious here. So in this case, the minimum is 4, and then our maximum is 16, like that. So the median is the number in the middle. And if there's 2 numbers in the middle, you average them. So we count from the outsides. We go 1, 2, 3. So we have 2 numbers in the middle here, 6 and 8. So our median is equal to 7. Okay, now it technically can be any number between 6 and 8. So you could say 6.1 is the median actually, but we just do the average, and so it'll be 7. So that divides our numbers in half. So that's the median, okay, otherwise known as Q2, by the way. All right, so the lower quartile, otherwise known as Q1, it is the median of the lower half of numbers. Now, if, by the way, there had been, well, okay, yeah. So if there's 2 numbers in the middle here, you take the average of them. All right, so so the lower quartile is the median of the lower half of numbers. Now, so in this case, it would be 6. That is the median of the lower half of numbers. So that would be 6. And then Q3, the upper quartile, is the median of the upper half of numbers. And so that's 12. And so there's my 5-number summary right there. So right there. Step 3, create a number line scale to match the data. Well, a number is going from 4 to 16. So I'll create a number line from 4 to 16 like this. And so I'll just go, what the heck, so I'll go in like units of 2, let's say. So 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and then 16, like that. Okay, we don't have a context here, which we would certainly list the context here if it was. All right, so there we go. So I've thus completed step number 3, create the number line. All right, now I'm going to put dots for each of the 5-number summaries above the number line. And if 2 of the numbers are the same, there'll only be 1 dot for them. So, but all of our numbers are different. So anyway, so I'll put a dot for the 4, the minimum value, a dot for Q1, that's there, and a dot for 7, and then for 12, and then for 16. And thus I've completed step 4. And then step 5, put a rectangle through Q1 and Q3. Well, Q1 is 6, Q3 is 12. So I'll put a box through Q1 and Q3 like that. So then the next one is to put whiskers from Q1 and Q3 out to the extreme values. So I'll put a whisker from Q1 out there. I'll put a whisker from Q3 out there. There we go. And then lastly, put a vertical line segment through the median. So I go like that. And that is how you do, that's how you do a box plot. All right. So anyway, but all right, let's look at some others. There's kind of some different things that can happen, but that's your basic procedure. So let's do it with these 5 examples. So with this one, all right, so my 5-number summary, my min is 1 and my max is 20. Okay, what's my median? Well, if I count from the outside, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. So 10 is the number in the middle. We got 4 on each side. So 10 is my Q2, my median. All right, now, when you're doing your quartiles, my lower quartile is the median of the lower half of numbers. You do not include 10 itself. Don't include the median itself, okay? Now, if there's been 2 numbers in the middle, you would include one of the 2 like this. I included one of the 2, but I don't include 10 itself in my calculation for my quartiles. So my lower quartile, well, it's the median of these 4 numbers. Well, there's 2 numbers in the middle, so I average them. That's 5.5. So that is my Q1. My Q3 is the median of the upper half of numbers. I don't include the 10 itself. So there's two numbers in the middle here, 11 and 15. So halfway between 11 and 15, well, that's going to be 13. So there's my 5-number summary. So let's create our box plot. So we go like this. So my numbers are going from 1 to 20. So I'll just go in units of 2 again. So I'll go 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, and 21. And then I'll put dots for each of those, a dot for 1, a dot for 5.5. That's going to be about right there. And then a dot for 10, and then for 13, and then for 20. That's about like that. So there's my dots. And then put a box through Q1 and Q3. Put whiskers out to the extreme values in a vertical line segment through Q2. There we go. So let's look and see what happens with this one. So with this one, they're of course in order. Let's find, so my min is 4, my max is 18. Okay, now the median, let's count from the outsides. So 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4. So once again, we have two numbers in the middle. And so I average those two. So my Q2 is 7. Now my Q1 is the median of the lower half of numbers. I do include if there's two numbers in the middle, I do include one of those two in the lower half. And so I do include the 6. Well, the median of those 5 numbers is 4. So that's my Q1. And then the median of my upper half of numbers, I do include the 8 in the upper half. So there's 4 numbers. And so Q3 is the middle of those two. So Q3 is 11. So this is a situation where Q1 and my min are the same number. So this is what I would do. I draw my scaling, going from 4 to 18. So what the heck, I'll go in units of 2 again. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. I just put 1 dot for 4. Okay. Even though it's occurring twice, I just put 1 dot for it, and then put a dot for 7, and then a dot for 11, and then a dot for 18. A box through Q1, and remember Q1 is here, a box through Q1 and Q3. There's no whisker on the left, okay, because Q1 is the same as the min, and I put a whisker out to their vertical line segment there. So whenever you have something that doesn't have a whisker, then you know Q1 has to be the same as minimum value. If you didn't have a whisker on top, that would mean that Q3 is the same as your max. So if that were the case, like for instance, if all of these were, like if this was both of these were 11, let's say all 3 of these numbers were 11, then Q3 would be 11, this would be 11, and your box and whisker plot wouldn't have any whiskers. All right. And so, by the way, if your Q1 and your median were the same number, then like, let's say, for instance, all of these were 4s here, then it would look like that. So when you don't have a vertical line segment, that means your median has to be the same as Q1 or Q3. So let's see what happens here. So, so for this one, so my minimum value is equal to 22. My max is 30. Okay, my median, let's count from the outsides. 1, 2, 3 is 26. So my Q2 is 26. My Q1, the median of the lower half of numbers. Let's see, 1, 2. So yeah, we got 2 numbers in the middle, right? Yeah, 2 numbers in the middle. Okay, so we include one of those 2. So my lower half of numbers is these 3. So my Q1 is 26. My Q3 is the median of the upper half of numbers, and that's 28. So let's see what this looks like. So for this one, so it's varying from 22 to 30. So I'll go 22, 24, 26, 28, and 30. So I'll put a dot for 22, and then 1 for 26, which is both my Q1 and my Q2, a dot for 28, and a dot for 30. All right, so I put a box through 26 and 28. So like that, my Q1 and my Q3, put whiskers out to my extreme values. then a vertical line segment through that, but it already has it. So when you have something like this, there's no vertical line segment. So you in the middle. So you know, therefore, that when you look at a box plot like that, the median has to be the same as Q1 and Q3. And then lastly, this guy here. So my min is 2, my max is 24. Median count from the outside's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we got 2 numbers in the middle again. So we average them. And so that's 6. The median of my lower half of numbers is 4. Median of the upper half of numbers is 8, right? And so now, okay, so this one's going from 2 to 24. So I'm going to go in units of 4. 2, and then 6, and then 10, and then 14, and then 18, 22, and 26. So put a dot at 2, a dot at 4, a dot at 6, a dot at 8, and a dot at 24. Okay, so there's my dots. Put a box through Q1 and Q3. Get whiskers out to my extreme values in that. So, and that's that one. So this one would certainly be heavily skewed to the right. So the one other thing that you need to be aware of is what is known as a modified box plot. So a modified box plot is one where the whiskers go out to the extreme values that are not outliers. And a dot is put where the outlier is. And there's a formula for outliers that I'll be glad to explain to you if you want. I don't know if anyway, so what you would do in that case, let's say 24 is an outlier, we would not put the whisker out to that. We would put the whisker out to the largest value that's not an outlier, which is 9 right there, and then just put another special dot out here. So when you see a modified box plot like that, that is putting the outlier as a dot on the outside of it. And so there you go. So that's it. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching the video.